Hi there. It is Tuesday and it's 4 o'clock. So let's get started in talking about business to business marketing. Today, I wanted to talk about effective business to business email marketing. So many people want to get an email out quickly. So they quickly put a piece together, they get a big list, and they send it out with hopes that they're going to get the amount of sales they want. And then what happens is I always hear back, email marketing doesn't work. And I have to say, that's not correct. Email marketing is one of the most effective channels because you can send your message directly to the individual that would be interested in what you have to offer. But you have to put a few things in place. So if you've watched any of these LinkedIn Lives before, the first thing I'll be a big one about is you've got to know and truly understand your audience. And by understanding, what are their challenges? What are their goals? And where do they respond to messages? Are they on Twitter? Are they LinkedIn? Do they want emails? Do they want a postal piece? What is it? Where are they? And how can you reach them? So for any business to business marketing campaign to be effective, you have to know and understand that audience. Then you have to find industry specific lists that match that criteria. So you look at publishers, you might look at an Informa, a BNP, Heat Treat Today. There's so many publishers out there. You have to find the ones that are specific for your audience. And then there's conference companies, which is great because if you can get people who've paid to attend a specific conference, you know that they're in that area and they're eager to get that information. So know and understand your audience and then find targeted lists that reach those specific people. Gone are the days of sending those mass promotions out to all these people with hopes of getting an answer. Now you've got to send very specific messages to a targeted group. And when you do that, that's when you're going to see great responses. So the first thing, when you're setting up this campaign, you know and understand them, you get a list, but then the subject line. So many clients, they'll send me the content and then I'll say, so what subject line? They're like, I don't care. Just, put something together. Oh my goodness, you don't care. Let's talk about this. Your subject line is the gatekeeper. Your subject line is that receptionist who's going to pass the piece on to you. Your subject line is that entryway. I'll say sometimes 80% of your time has to be spent on determining a good subject line. Because if your subject line doesn't bring them in for you to open up their email, it doesn't matter how good your content is. So think about that. Spend time on your subject line. If you want to look further into your subject line, there's an individual, Jay Schwendelson, who I've known for years. He's been in this industry for a long time, and he is the founder of subjectline.com. Check out his website and his services because, like I mentioned, subject line is the most important before your content. So you get your subject line organized. Now it's your content. Remember, you want your content and the information in there to talk directly to the individual, as if you are reading their mind about that challenge or a goal they might have. You can't just send out broad messages that are just selling people. You want to be educating them, but you want to be educating them on a specific industry or a specific area. So you set up the content so that it would be talking about that. But in that part of knowing and understanding your audience, is what will they resonate with? Do they want to see more images? Do they want it to be more text oriented? If you're going to engineers, engineers want you to get to the meat of it. They want to know the answers right away. So don't doing all these frills and whistles on your content. Get to the point. What is it? You're going to a CFO or a financial position. Make sure you're talking about the numbers. You have to be talking about the numbers. Otherwise, they don't really care. But if you're talking to a CEO, let's make sure you're presenting that full picture of what this will do for their organization. So think about it when you're designing those pieces, and don't get caught up with being clever with the design. It's about the content and the people who you're sending this message to. And if it resonates with them, that's what they care about. Here's an example. I had a client who really got into the design aspect of it. They were auctioning off a coffee manufacturing facility. So what they did is, in the background, they had a pair of mittens holding a coffee cup, and then they did the writing on top using script and hot pink and whites. But this was an industrial piece. Now, as much as I love the mittens and the coffee cup, it was a cute picture, it made it very hard to read. And again, if you're manufacturing, you want to get to the point, like, what is this equipment? Is it going to save us time? Are we going to be more productive? Could we set up a new channel or a new product that we're going to manufacture? That's what they want to know. They don't give a flip about the cute little picture or the hot pink font or script. Oh my goodness, script, people. It's too hard to read. You want your creatives to not only be talking to the people, but you want it to be easy to read, to get to the point. You only have a few seconds to capture their attention, so make sure it hones in. Comes to another point. I know we get this much real estate and we all want to fill everything in because we think the more information we put in there, the better. Let's remember, white space is our friend. White space clears it up so that people are drawn, their eye is drawn to the information that is written there. If you go and you fill the whole HTML up with letters and pictures and CTAs, call to actions, it's too hard for an individual to determine what they should be paying attention to. So use that white space. Let the most important pieces stand out. And then use the KISS principle. This one I found out very early on in my career. The KISS principle is keep it simple and stupid. I know you might say, well, Donna, I don't want my piece to be stupid, and I get that, but you want to make sure that it leaves a little bit of question in their mind so that they reach out to you. So you put a few images, you put some good content, but leave something like a hanging carrot out there so that they contact you, because that's when you could start nurturing them through. For example, let's say you have an auction and you'll list some of your pieces, or you'll give some of the description, but not all. And you'll say, but if there's a piece here that you're looking for that is not represented, please give us a call, because I'm sure we have another auction coming up. And that way they call you and you have them and you can nurture them through. So concentrate on that content. The next thing for it to be an effective business-to-business email is the reblasting or sequence. Nowadays, think about it. When you get an email, do you respond to it right away? Or do you put it aside saying, you know what, I'm interested in that, I'll get to it later? I know that's what I do. I never get to later. My later is, might as well I just put it in the dump folder, the junk folder. So a reblast is so important because people are so caught up in their day-to-day. I have found when we have events, whether it's a webinar, an auction, a conference, those things are great with reminders the day of. And some of you might say, but Donna, that's too late. I know, people, but the thing is, everyone's schedule is so busy. They may say, okay, yes, I want to attend this in 2 weeks. But then their schedule goes. And where if you go that morning into them, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? I am free at 12. I want to listen to this webinar. Or you know what? There was a piece of equipment here I was really interested in. I'm gonna log on. I'm gonna see what this auction's all about. I want to see how high it goes. So you want to have that reblasting or that frequency that goes out. And what you can do is you send out that first email. If they opened it or didn't open it, you can send those people 2 different types of messages. Each way, you're educating them a little bit more. Maybe they didn't open it at all. Maybe they don't understand the auction setting or drug discovery platform that you're going to have. Maybe we send them an information piece to pull them on. And so you start to test those different things. What pieces help those people who've opened it then go on to click and to register? Or the people who didn't open, get them to open and convert them down to register or to, buy even. So for effective business to business marketing, it can no longer be those massive promotions we just throw out to everyone. That is gone. It is about building relationships, which I know you've all heard me talk about before. But to do that, you have to know and understand your audience. You have to find targeted lists that reach those people. You have to have that subject line that they can't resist. They have to open it. And then you have to have that content. The content with the information, educating the people on why they need to click on your call to action for that next step. They just have to get more information because you're going to solve a problem or help them achieve their goals. I hope you found this helpful in how you can use email marketing to get the results you want, but also to pull in those leads, add them to your house file, or even if they're on your house file, nurture them so they buy from you again and may become a champion of your company, saying, this is the best company I've ever worked with, and this is why. They truly understand my industry and what I'm trying to accomplish. I would love to hear if anyone has any comments. Please send me any questions to dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. And if there is a specific topic you'd like to hear about, please send that to me. I'm always looking for interesting topics. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all next week.